We are so close to Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. The mob game aren't done playing games with us yet, and that game in particular is their ARG. They even got bootleg Ryan Gosling involved this time. You might have thought their ARG is finished, because when you go on the website you're met with this screen. A terminal lockout, no more access to any of the parts of the computer, no more staring matches with catnap in the CCTV. But we're also met with a strange arrangement of numbers and letters at the top right corner. And if you can be bothered typing them all out, put them into a hex converter. And if you want to know what a hex converter is, it's your mom. Anyway, once you convert that series of numbers and letters, you get more random numbers and letters. Oh my god, so much fun. You can probably tell I'm kind of over ARG stuff. Anyway, even I'm smart enough to know that this set of numbers and letters is actually what you would use to create a YouTube URL. Throw it into a YouTube URL and you get this unlisted video by Mob Entertainment. It's called Catnap Recall. And if you were a real one, you would know that we've made many theories about this already in my shorts. So now, let's watch it together for the first time, and then we can analyze it a little bit afterwards. Alright, let's get started.
What's the time? Playtime!
I don't think that's how the previous cartoons started. Well, obviously based on the length of this, there's gonna be more added on because the Smiling Critters cartoon wasn't that long. Look, I'll watch it through. If I see any changes, I'll make sure it's in the video, but if it's exactly the same, I'll just get to the part where it's changed. Man, the sound effect for that knock actually makes you think it's inside your house.
A few moments later.
Nope. Exactly the same and just as airy.
Whoa. Poppy Playtime, but are your children safe from Playtime Co.'s latest toy?
Bro, who the hell is this guy?
What you've seen here is Playtime Co.'s own Smiling Critters.
Bootleg Ryan Gosling looking at.
To celebrate the release of the toys sharing its name. Yet both now face the fire sparked by the inclusion of one key member. This is Catnap.
Oh.
And like the others of his line, you just pull his little tail and...
Oh my gosh.
Innocent enough. However, parents across the country report
like
their
an air
children
freshener
experiencing strange and often violent nightmares. And beside them, their little, grinning Catnap doll.
Oh my god.
Now, with controversy growing, Playtime Co. has announced the recall of all Catnap toys from the Smiling Critters line. His image cleared from all promotional material. But damage already done, will disappearing be that easy? The exact cause of these incidents still unknown, only one thing appears glaringly certain. Your children are not safe.
Oh, are we gonna get a release date finally? No, you're kidding me. Oh my gosh, alright, fine. That was actually really cool. It tied up some loose lore points that we've been given over the last few months and made them whole. For example, this photo without catnap, this email which is from customer service talking about a potential recall, and generally how the mechanism actually works because it looks like they made a bit of a prototype. Just as the credits start rolling into this eerie scene of Catnap watching his friends sleep or potentially die, I don't know, we hear a TV reporter's voice slowly overlay from an in-world news station called WLE4, and the beautiful face of bootleg Ryan Gosling. What's interesting is that he makes it clear that the cartoon is actually a limited edition advertisement. I previously theorized that it was way too unhinged and jarring for the public to actually see. Apparently the higher-ups at Playtime Co. gave it the green light and let it go out to the public. It was obviously met with backlash, but not because of the advertisement. It was because of what the real toy was doing. What's really cool is we see what the life-size toy is actually gonna look like. I'm sure you're gonna be able to buy your own ones when they sell it as merch. All you gotta do is pull the tail and then the gas disperses. I must say though that when the gas disperses, it kind of looks like an air freshener spray more than a gas. When I think about it now, it's really unrealistic, but I was expecting like smoke machine levels of gas dispersion. But why the hell would they make a toy like that? Actually, they tricked me because of this video. That's why I thought that. Anyway, what's interesting is he also mentions that the other toys in the line work in the same way. So if you want to fill your lungs to the brim with the smell of ylang ylang, you just gotta pull Chica's little tail. He goes on to show us Catnap in this setting over here. And as we know, nothing they do is ever unintentional. You can see Boxy Boo's star, PJ Pugapillar's length and girth, and Huggy Wuggy's yellow hand. I mean, come on, that's probably as close as we're gonna get from the devs as a confirmation that they're gonna appear in Chapter 3. Anyway, Ryan goes on to tell us about how children across the country are starting to suffer violent nightmares, with the one common denominator, this purple smiling assassin. No, I mean this purple smiling assassin. And then we get to see a properly animated full full-fledged 3D version of Playtime Co's factory. It's all colorful and beautiful, clearly in its heyday. And I do believe a screenshot from this at one point was used within the ARG to hide some jumbled letters. I did watch through it a couple of times, but I honestly couldn't find anything hiding in here. Ryan goes on to tell us about how Catnap was fully just recalled, to the point where he was almost redacted from their advertisements. And that takes us back to square one, the day we actually got to see what Catnap looks like. It was in this marketing right here when Mob released this photo and then 1 hour later this photo without Catnap. It was all very confusing back then because we had just been introduced to the smiling critters. And then we were kind of reintroduced to them as well, just without Catnap. Anyway, Ryan goes on to tell us about how it's not that easy for Catnap to just disappear from the airwaves. He basically says the damage has already been done to the children's psyche and to the reputation of Playtime Co. And then we zoom back into this image, which I believe re-emphasizes the inclusion of these guys in the chapter, but it also gives us a better look at Catnap's real doll. You can see the circular black vent that's at the back of his throat, which hides the apparatus which holds the gas. And then Ryan Gosling's voice becomes less staticky and more clear, obviously to give us one parting message, which is,
Your children are not safe with catnap.
and then we don't get a release date. Classic. One thing that I did find a little bit odd about all of this is that in that recall email that we had in the ARG earlier, they mentioned that the recall is also because the gas that's coming outside of the catnap dolls is red and not clear mist. But then in this video they show us the clear mist, so I think that might have been a bit of a missed opportunity. Something else I'd love to know is, why is the actual gas making children have nightmares? We know the original catnap Theodore Gramble used to be an orphan before changing, and being an orphan in a place like Playtime Co is nightmare inducing on its own. Is there a chance in some weird way that in the production of the red poppy mist, the feelings, emotions, or nightmares of Theodore Gramble actually got mixed inside of the DNA of the stuff? That made no scientific sense at all. I don't even know what I just said, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? Because this video is unlisted, you don't actually get to see the thumbnail that easily either. But it's actually really cool because it kind of looks like a screenshot from the gameplay. It's a catnap plush, but not the real one that we just saw, a gamified one. And we're probably gonna see hundreds of these littered all over the place, just like the other smiling critters throughout this chapter. When brightened, I honestly couldn't find anything else in here, no secrets, no jumbled up letters hiding anywhere. But something that is evident is a whole pool of blood on the ground. Almost like this little catnap is a bit of a trap. You know, see a cute thing on the ground, go up to it, wanna play with it, but there's actually a catnap on the ceiling waiting to kill you. But anyway, speaking of catnaps, I've been reacting to a ton of fan animations of catnap so far. Some have been absolutely amazing. Some have been absolutely interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. But is this something you want to see in more detail or in a longer video? Because I honestly don't mind. I just don't know whether you guys want to see it or not. Also, we're so close to 1 million. And as I promised, I'm gonna face reveal when I hit 1 million. And if that happens before Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 comes out, I'm gonna do a full face reveal playthrough. So if you're here now, subscribe, help a brother out. Let's get to that 1 million. And if you're already subscribed, just tell like one friend. Because I honestly want to do a face cam playthrough. I think it'll be really fun and I think the reactions will be hilarious. And as always, I have to plug my passion project, Don't Listen Before Bed, my spooky stories podcast. But you guys keep on breaking the #1 cardinal rule. Don't listen before bed.